Today I'm going to show you the transformation of this beautiful armoire. It is one of the first pieces of furniture that my husband and I bought new. It's a little dated at this point and just needs a refresh. Hi, welcome to the Peaceful Home. If you're new here, I'm Teresa Elling, and I've been working on a redo of my master bedroom. Now, this room really hasn't been tackled since we moved in almost 6 years ago. And this is a piece that actually has been in our barn for years. We purchased it when we were living on the coast decades ago. It was time to update it a little bit, especially since I am doing my bedroom in a French country style with a little bit of eclectic English country as well. And I wanted a different look for this. Here's what it looked like before. It was this very orangey wood, and I whitewashed it to get this look. I'm going to show you the process of whitewashing, and then I'm going to fill it up. This armoire had one shelf near the top, and my husband added this half shelf near the bottom that our TV sat on. So I wanted to make sure that that shelf went all the way to the back. So I measured and picked up some 1x12 boards and installed one on the bottom so that this shelf would go all the way to the back. And I installed another one up near the top, just a half one. And I supported these with 1x2s that I pre-drilled and screwed in with 2 screws. The things you need are a bowl of water and your diluted paint. I chose some leftover white paint that I had. It really doesn't matter what you use. It's a great way to use up leftovers. I did a 1-to-1 ratio, and then I ended up adding a little bit more water to the paint. You could go up to a 1-to-2, 2 parts water to 1 part paint. You do need it pretty thin. I apply with a brush, but some people will use a sponge or a rag. After I paint it on, then I use my damp rag to wipe the paint off. And this is how whitewashing works. You've diluted the paint so that it is so thin that it seeps into the grain of the wood. And when it does that, you're able to wipe the majority of paint back off. And what this does is really lighten your wood. It gives a bleached out look. After several passes with your damp rag, you do need to continue to put the rag back in the water, swirl it around a little bit, squeeze it out, wipe off more paint. But as your bowl of water gets saturated with paint, you do need to change the water out. Just go dump it really quick, get a fresh bowl, and you're ready to go. It's also important to wear gloves because when you're using the rag, your hand is in full contact with the diluted paint. And just like it seeps into the grain, it will seep into every pore and line in your hands. And so gloves are important. I just use some disposable gloves that I usually use for painting. You can see the new board in the back that I installed. Now, if this was an important piece or the top of a table, I would make sure to stain the new board to match the existing board and then whitewash everything. But because this is in the back of a cabinet, I'm not concerned about it. And once I whitewash the front piece, the back seemed to blend in. Another thing to consider is making sure that you have a drop cloth around your surface or under your piece to make sure that you don't get drips where you don't want them. If you're working on vertical surfaces, it's important that you don't dilute too much, otherwise your paint will run everywhere. So the 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5 ratio worked really well here, so I didn't have a lot of drips. And when you're going over and removing the paint, just remember to continue to turn your cloth so that you have a new surface to pull the paint off, and rinse it as often as needed to continue to pull the paint off. You're almost massaging the paint into the wood as you're wiping it off at the same time, and this gives a great whitewashed or raw wood look. Here's what the armoire looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Such a big difference. Now it's time to fill it up. I put all of my craft supplies away a couple of weeks ago. I really pared down to the things that I know that I'm using or have a definite plan for. And this also really gave me a container, a defined space in which to keep all of my craft stuff. So if it doesn't fit in here, I've got to change something. This is a lot of my just scrap fabric. This is actually a mending pile, embroidery floss, lace. Oh, I have a visitor. You want to say hi, Maya? Hi, Grammy's filming. This top drawer is pretty much empty, but I'm using it to put some extra decor pieces. So when I thrift or I have an upcoming project, I've got a spot to put those things. And now I'm going to put linens into here. These are quilts that have been in our family for multiple generations. I think my great-great-grandmother made these, had them on her bed. They are so beautiful. I have two matching twins and this full size. I was hoping they might fit down here. Yeah, looks like they will. I haven't done a whitewash project in many years, and I was so pleased with how this turned out. It's actually taken me a little bit of time to get used to it because the transformation is quite dramatic, but I really am happy with it. I love that I have space for fabric, for extra linens, for my thrifted items that I haven't yet shown you on a video. So this is giving me a lot of space in my room. If you're new to the Peaceful Home, I invite you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified for all the upcoming videos. I have a few more coming in regards to my bedroom. I also have some family content coming up on Tuesdays, what I am doing for Christmas, and more importantly, what I am not doing for Christmas this year. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It was great to have you here. Thanks so much for joining me on the Peaceful Home. Have a great day.